Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Advanced Wars, Mission 16, once again. Normally, for your viewing pleasure, I wouldn't do this 2 times in a row, because it makes for... I know, Sammy, Nell, I know. It makes for boring viewer... it makes for a boring viewer experience, which I realize, so I try... That's why I've been very... disparate? Disparate? I can't think of the word. There's the sub. That's why I've been making some disparate. That's why I play a few missions in between episodes, because that way it feels like I'm actually progressing. Progressing. That's how I speak nowadays. I'm exhausted. This is good practice, because it means a good practice as well, because in future I'm going to need to be able to... Please don't get shot at. In future, I'm going to need to be able to make a whole batch of maybe, say, 4 or 5, maybe even 6 episodes, playing, let's say, for 2 or 3 hours. So what I need is the practice of putting together... oh gosh. What I need is the practice of putting together multiple episodes. And keeping something to talk about as well. Some missions, again, I am almost never gonna let's play another strategy game, barring one exception, and you guys probably know what that one exception is going to be. So barring this one exception, I am never let's playing a strategy game again. I'm gonna be let's playing the predominantly action games, or games which are all real-time, because I can then say something like, imagine Spelunky, that sort of style gameplay where it's simple but nuanced, lots of skill. I do have a lot to say about what makes something skill-based, and it probably boils down to... I think this is an idea borrowed from a GDC talk that is called Untapped Potentials of Roguelikes. So I'm ripping the idea... Did I forget something? Did I? Maybe I should move this guy back to the right. That was a dumb idea. The untapped potential roguelikes, where he mentions these 3 things that roguelikes do really well, but he... What is this? Oh, you mother... I don't think there are any more subs though, so thankfully I have that going for me. Hello! Hello! Okay, now first things first, I need to get rid of the cruiser, because the cruiser is what's gonna just... I wonder if... Because that is some ridiculous damage, 44... 39, so that's 80. I could pray I get lucky. Or, you know what, I just play it safe. Do the right thing. The untapped potentials of roguelikes, where he mentions these 3 things. Imagine a triangle, where the 3 things of skill are knowledge, so knowing how... This is like very basic knowledge, understanding... Think tutorials, basically. Understanding what the buttons do on the controller, and what they cause the on-screen character to do. So there's knowledge, as well as knowing, in this game's case, knowing unit types, movement types, terrain types, and various different mechanics. So there's knowledge. There's also, let's see, knowledge, experience, which seems natural. Like there are some things which they go beyond knowledge. Like, for example, knowing when my CO meter will fill. Sure, of course, I can actually look up online and see and be able to calculate CO meter when they fill up. But that's in some cases with like the enemy, I can't actually see his CO meter. It's all guesswork for the most part. And since it's guesswork, it takes a level of experience. And see, I had no idea there. You could, for example, work out or know that destroying a battleship or doing damage to a battleship fills out the CO meter more than destroying an infantry unit, say. But for the most part, these are all things... Oh, god damn it, leave me alone, Drake. These are all things that sort of boil down to my experience, my understanding, and my intuition and gut feeling of the game. And the final triangle of skill-based... The final element of the skill-based triangle is mechanical proficiency. That seems like the most basic part of it all. Actually being able to say, playing Monster Hunter, being able to input the controls, frame perfect evades. In Dark Souls or Monster Hunter, people say Dark Souls has excellent combat. I say you guys are wrong, but who am I to judge? Yeah, I'm salty. I hate how much credit Dark Souls gets for making a really hardcore, what people say, really excellent combat. When in my opinion, the combat is quite simple and straightforward, I'd say. See, there's a unit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that means I'm safe to do. This. Okay, wonderful, wunderbar. So that's. You know what? I'm thinking about taking this Let's Play channel in a unique direction. This will be dumb. Right? Because I don't want him to retreat. Get lucky, please. Unlike me every night. I made that joke already. Ah, you son of a bitch. I did notice I was clipping on the previous episode, so I had to turn down my microphone volume because that was really bad. Oh, I should be recording in separate tracks, actually. Lesson learnt. I should be recording separate tracks so I can apply my effects separately, which is important. Very important. Yeah. Oh well. In turn. Yeah, I brought that upon myself. I was hoping... Is he gonna run away? You serious, man? Wow. Real hardcore parkour. Now, what I'm gonna need to do is I'm gonna need to get this guy loaded. And I think it'll have my recon unit and this unit here as well. I don't need to be destroying a battleship, do I? Because what's the point of destroying a battleship? Oh, I was going to say, I'm thinking of taking this channel in a more... If you know of Game Maker's Toolkit, Mark Brown, I was thinking more doing... Just as a sort of side project on top of already creating... oh god, there's a tank right there. And no doubt there's an empty tank right behind him, and I don't have any artillery units for this choke point. That's a really, really big problem. Some would say a huge problem. So like Game Maker's Toolkit, Mark Brown, I'd love to do some kind of low-key, small-scale game analyses, and like what I was talking about just then about what makes a game skill-based. I want to say I have lots of bits of wisdom, but if we're being critical and scrutinizing myself and being frank and pragmatic, trying to say all the big words to make myself sound smart. No, the artillery unit. Oh. I'm gonna lose again. If I lose again... Malaka. You know what I might actually do? Play the long game. Play the long con. Does this guy... Good, it has infantry. I can capture the city. Capture the city. Oh, no, don't drop that off. And heal things up in the meantime. Oh, wow. This is not turning out for the best. It's not panning out well. So if we're going to scrutinize myself, I'm not a game developer, nor am I a game designer. I'm just somebody who plays a lot of games and watches lots of GDC. The last 2 GDC talks I watched was animating quadruped characters and in The Flame and the Flood, as well as audio, like some very basic audio engineering stuff. Or like audio programming. So making programming, not audio designers, mind you. in an indie context, the audio programmer is probably the audio designer as well. But it's like programming for the audio designers. Please don't ruin my day. Okay, that's good. Okay, this'll work. I can do this. So, for example, with the animating quadruped characters in Flame in the Flood, I finally understand why if you play, for example, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and try riding horses, or frankly, almost all oh god. Virtually all horse riding, or any kind of... yeah, virtually all horse riding in games, they... unlike the player character, let's use Breath of the Wild as an example. Not that that's bad, it's just I'm using it as an example. It's a good example. For example, Link, he moves with a very continuous... He has an animation for each level, for each speed. So if you're moving really, really slow, like you're barely touching the control stick, he's got like a really small shuffle walk for that. Whereas when he's running full speed, he's got an animation for that too, if you believe. No, don't fire. Jesus. The way that works is by, it's called animation blending. I won't get into the... although I sort of kind of have to, don't I? I won't get into the nitty-gritty of it, but it's what you're doing is you're just combining multiple animations. You're combining two animations, and you're just sort of... he has 10 fuel units left. Oh, there's an artillery unit in here, isn't there? I forgot. You're combining two animations and you're blending between them. That's called animation blending. And that's how a lot of animation is done in the gaming industry, because it accounts for virtually everything. It's great for that. The problem being for quadruped characters like horses, you can't blend animations because they have different gaits. Gaits, yeah, that's the word. They have different... They have different gaits, that the gait being the sort of their walk, how they walk. They have different gaits for the different speeds they move at. Whereas humans or bipedal characters are basically... running is just basically faster walking. Right? That's all there is to it. It's just a faster walk cycle. Faster walk cycle with greater spacing. It's really easy to do and very straightforward. Oh, door. Quadruped characters though, because each gate they have it's a different cycle. The footsteps, it's on a different beat. It changes from a walk to a gallop to a trot to you name it. The problem being that if you try to blend between them, instead of getting a really smooth animation, you instead get stuck with a weird jiggity dance as the game tries to blend between these two animations. It looks really, really bad. So that's why I learned why most games with horse riding in it would take a lot of work to create a smooth system or a continuous animation. Oh god, I can't go up there. Oh no, but I need to reveal what's... Okay. 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 Just play the long con. Play the long con. This is why a lot of games with any kind of horse riding or any kind of mount system, they have discrete levels of speed. You have a trot, you have a gallop, you have a sprint, versus player characters which are normally very smooth. And they can move at a whole variety of speeds. Of course, it is entirely possible to create a system whereby... where horses or mounts... I feel like I'm losing frames here. Horses or mounts do have multiple... They do have a continuous range of speeds, but doing this would take a lot of work. Oh no, you don't. But doing this would take a lot of work and it's not worth it. Just have the few very specific. Please, for the love of all things holy, just end this. Of course, I'm fighting on the back foot because if my landers run out of fuel and oh god, don't do that. If my landers run out of fuel and die, I'm the one that loses. Hold up, he was on 5 health, and he came down to 2 and then back up to 4. I need... Oh, I need to stop with my lip smacking. My delicious, sweet lip smacking. You know, I'm gonna do something dumb. Excuse me, this is gonna be a very lengthy episode. Just because I'm bad. I'm mad because I'm bad. That's pretty much the motto in my life. I need to hide this away. Again, he'll move up. Hey, I'll need to... Hope he goes for my APC, but I can't have my APC die. Lots of dead, awkward silence. He's done it. He has done it. Okay. Well. Okay. I'll be doing this manually, I guess. See, the good thing about the APC is that the unit that was hidden inside the APC has taken no damage from tsunamis. Which is useful. I'm trying to look on the bright side. As my world around me crumbles and I start to give in to chronic anxiety and depression. I can't do this anymore. I can't. Oh god. Damn, that's pretty good. Though he'll do 1 or 2 units of damage back to me. Alright, we'll be doing this the manual way. The plan is I'm going to capture another base up here. And capture a couple of bases. This guy's filled with, yeah, infantry. Easy. Capture bases down here, resupply, and hopefully things will work out better for me next time. And I will save my CO power when I absolutely need it. You have plenty of fuel. You have very few guns though. The bothersome thing about airplanes and ships are, to refuel them, you either need their respective base types, so airports or ports. To add to that, you also need to... and there is another method, not to add to that. The method being, you can use an APC unit for some reason to refuel an airport, to refuel a... I just enter... Hi! Hello! I completely forgot about you. You can use an APC unit for some reason to refuel ships and planes somehow. It doesn't make sense if you think about it in realistic terms, but that's a good thing about games. They don't have to be realistic to be game balanced. That's just sort of how it works. That's like part of the reason why having photorealistic graphics isn't... Shame. It's the problem of why having photorealistic graphics. With photorealism comes the implication of real physical... people start to... I can speak today, clearly. It comes the expectation, is the word. The expectation that what we're seeing is going to be like real life, and I'll be able to do things in this game to the same degree as I would be able to do in real life. I know. I'm going to ruin your day. I'm going to ruin your day. Let's move out infantry. How many shots do you have left? Oh, he's out of bullets! Fantastic! And I have no APC unit to fill him back up again. And there's a tank there. Okay, well, I got the tank out. And I know, okay, he's in that forest. So it's a 1 and a 2 and a 3. So it's 1, 2, 3. So this is his range. Okay. Okay. I can't do this. Refill this dude up here. And just wait. It's become very tactical, this game has. So with photorealism comes the expectation and implication that you'll be able to play the game like... You know, ever played a game where there's an invisible... It's photorealistic, say Batman Arkham Knight or whatever. And there's an invisible wall, but the kind of invisible wall it does, it's like duct tape. Not duct tape, but prison. This is a crime scene, don't move past this line. It's an invisible wall, you can't cross anything. Come on now. I could easily pick that up and go on and explore to my heart's content. Because that's the implication that comes with photorealism. However, if you don't go the photorealistic route, and if instead you opt for a more stylized art style, or maybe perhaps... there I go, the clicking again. More stylized art style, or maybe even something completely alien and unique and foreign. So set it in cyberspace or something. Suddenly, instead of, if you set it in cyberspace, you can have, this area is blocked off by a firewall, so you can't get in there. And suddenly, ooh, isn't that interesting? And you don't have people kind of throwing their arms up going, this is BS, sort of thing. Instead, you have people going, oh, I see. This is a game mechanic where I can't, there's an invisible wall here, but I'm not frustrated by the invisible wall because it makes sense in the scope of the game. 1. Hold up. 1. I can't count. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. No, unfortunately I can't make it. I was thinking of using my CO power. Sammy's CO power gives her units 1 extra range. And this guy's out of bullets. Excellent. Okay. I'll have this in the bag. You know what? I might just destroy all his units. This has been an awfully long episode. Thank you for your patience, by the way. Thank you a lot for your patience. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me because I'm bad. This has been an exhausting mission, and I'll have 2 episodes back to back of... it's just a yucky feeling. No, base capture. Base capture, no doubt, because there's that lander unit down sitting towards the bottom left, which I don't have the means to destroy. Isn't this just dandy? Okay. I'm happy. No, I'm not. I'm actually very frustrated and exhausted. I've been recording for 45 minutes, which is... the mission yesterday with Sammy. Similar deal. Sammy vs. Drake. Fog of War. It took me 30, 40 days. It was like 1.5 hours of play, because it was capture the bases, capture 15 buildings, and I hit in stalemate, and it was just exhausting. Curse has been defeating... Okay, thank you. Thank you! Well, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate the B rank. All my lowest ranks have been with Sammy. I've gotten 2 C ranks with Sammy and 1 B rank. She's the only person I haven't gotten an A rank with. Everyone else, I've gotten every other mission A rank except with her. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate the viewership. If you enjoyed this episode, stay tuned. There will be more coming in future, but maybe not for a while. I'm burning through this game really quickly. I'm technically on the second last arc of missions. After this is... after the Green Earth missions comes the Enigma missions, so I'm not really that far away from the end of the game, which is scary to think. So do stay tuned, there'll be more coming in the future, but until then, have a great day.